Hello, this is the 38th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will mainly focus on the heading hierarchy, which is contextual hierarchy, and the contextual connections, which is anchor text. When we look at the heading hierarchy, you will usually realize that we are actually using certain types of semantic content network brief templates. For instance, when you use actually incrementally ordered heading list, they always will be actually on the, let's say, same heading hierarchy. One of these things won't be H3. They will always be same. If you break this part, again, the search engine actually can understand based on the font size or the typography there, or sometimes they can just actually skip some of the numbers that you are using and they can give you some other numbers as well. But if you are breaking the format and if you are still getting the feature snippet, it means that actually you have high level of page rank or there is no other candidate passage answers there. And we can talk about the candidate answer passage scoring for hours based on Stephen De Baker or Nitin Gupta. But as I say, the purpose of education is action, not the knowledge. And when we look at the further heading structure in this area, as I said before too, after the incrementally ordered heading list, we will see one root or the roof or the grouper, sometimes I call it a grouper question. Then we go further with deeper and deeper instructions. And once we ask this specific grouper question with the question of how, then we ask a what question, like what are the benefits of drinking water in the morning? Because we can't ask the same question directly one more time, and we will need to actually continue to the same context with a deeper look. Then, once we ask this question, we actually continue to a little bit, let's say, go deeper and further. Here we use actually Boolean questions with lower hierarchy because Boolean questions are easier to answer, way much easier, and they are mainly for the voice search. If you're able to rank for the voice search, it will be easier for also going more feature snippets for the same topic. The thing is, when you talk to the search engine in your queries, you will realize that the Boolean questions are usually answered by telling yes or no. If I'm able to use this structure for taking more historical data just from the voice search or the voice search sessions, it will be reflected on also the web search sessions too. From there, if I'm able to rank for this specific contextual layers by taking certain types of, let's say, answer rankings, then ranking for these will be way much easier. If I'm able to rank for these two, then actually this specific macro context will be easier for me as well. So supplementary content doesn't mean that less important content. It is highly important for actually passing your page rank and the relevant signals to the other pages, and at the same time taking further historical data from different verticals of the search as well. When we look at these internal links, if I open this part, there are some hidden columns here. Maybe we can see them in the future. But if I come like this, basically here I tell relevant article. I usually use this as a test. I tell relevant article. If the author doesn't get what is the most relevant topical map node to this specific, let's say, anchor text, if the person doesn't get it immediately, it means that there is something wrong here. If a human doesn't understand where these specific phrases will be linking to from this topical map, then in this case, actually, I will need to be more specific. That's why I usually use these sections as a test purpose. And when we look at these internal links, in our root of the semantic content network, we directly use luxury drinking water, which is the type of our brand. And so we are connecting this entire topic back to our source context. Then the effects of dehydration and signs of drinking too much water. And in this case, actually, since this is the optimum level, these two are a little bit the edges of the both angles, like without water and with too much water. Then the type of the water and amount of the water. So we linked from these areas from the bottom because we don't want to actually decrease the relevance of this section directly through these query networks. This is the first link that we are using in this part, and it is directly in still it is inside the main content and inside the macro context area, because we want to give more weight to this link. Then we give an empty space to the search engine processors and also the users, so that this will be more clickable. Whenever we increase clickability of a link, and whenever a link is earlier, it's more important. The first link and the first anchor text in the main content, it will be affecting your actually processing. Processing means evaluation of the text in terms of relevance. And from here, we directly actually go some of these sections as well. So to be able to process all these parts in a proper way and distribute the relevance in a higher percentage, we actually take all these 3 sections, then we start to generate questions and distribute them. The hard part is usually creating a proper macro context and then creating a proper contextual vector. Then you will need to create a kind of hierarchy, then distributing the anchor text properly will be coming. But what will be happening inside this middle area? I can tell that actually this is hard as much as this area. Mostly the most time consuming section will be this. And sometimes the things that you do in this area might change the order of these sections as well, or you might need to use some of the extra columns, and we will see them in the future together. See you in the next lectures.